Hello, last ride on this one. It's being picked up tomorrow. So this is the Silence S01 Plus. I want to tell you in this video what I've learned about me living with this bike and living with electric. So I've had this bike for 2.5 weeks. What's it like to live with? Now, I haven't edited anything about this bike yet, so you're going to be watching this before I've actually edited the main review. So it's just some things that I wanted to run through with you. You know, a lot of people are going to be, I'm guessing, mentioning about the price of this scooter. It's £7,500 thereabouts. So yes, it is quite expensive when you consider what else is on the market you can buy. But as I probably said in the review, don't forget that this is something utterly different than a normal conventional motorbike. Okay, it's hard to convey that on camera, what it's like riding or owning one of these, if you haven't actually done it yourself. Now, it is a scooter, so it's not going to suit a lot of people. A lot of people won't like the whole scooter thing, and that's understandable. We all like different things, don't we? I can take or like either. I am definitely motorcycle biased for sure, but I do also like scooters. I've owned them in the past. But I guess the question is, what's it like living with an electric scooter? And how have I got on with it? Well, what I've found, every time I go in town or she sends me off on a mission, then I've always reached for this bike, even though I've got lots of choice at the moment in the garage because I've got other bikes to choose from. There's something that makes it more enjoyable to get around when the bike's nice and quiet, when the scooter's nice and quiet. And also it's smoother as well. There's no vibrations on this scooter, which also makes it really nice to ride around. Seat comfort is 100% great, lovely as well, because I've never had a numb bum on it, even though I've been riding it all afternoon with a pillion as well. It's been really comfortable to use and ride. Nighttime, the light is very good on the front as well, which is obviously LED there. The braking's very good, although it does grab a bit harshly, I would say, but it's better that way than the other way, isn't it? Zero flex in the chassis, and as I say, this scooter does tend to glide. Everywhere you do, go on this scooter, it just glides along. I've never felt the need for more power, even with a pillion, which is really weird when you look at it like this. You would have thought that, that you'd want a bit more, because it doesn't look like a powerful bike, but it has got lots of torque. Suspension's been nice as well. With this being £7,500, you do get the piggyback shock adjuster there, which is actually works really well. There's definitely a night and day difference between soft, hardest one as well, so definitely a difference there. As I probably said in the review, my boys were saying that these pegs here, it's easy to kick your leg into the side there, and certainly on this side where the battery is, so I can see what they were saying there, and yeah, I definitely agree with what they're saying. Now, with the price of this being £7,500, do remember that also they do make one for around £6,000 without the upgraded battery, suspension and the brakes, so you don't have to spend £7,500, and if it was me, I'd probably spend my money on the £6,000 one, which is more realistic, isn't it? Tyres have been fantastic. Most of the time I've been riding in nice weather anyway. Under the seat stuff has been superb. Loads in there, so as a commuter, really, really good. One thing I will say, and it's probably my fault that I've been doing something wrong, but a couple of times I've gone in the garage and I've given the scooter just sort of brushed past the scooter, and the alarm has gone off, and the alarm is loud. Alright, but again, that's probably a good thing, isn't it? Because they are quite nickable, these machines. So it's better that way than the other way. It's around a 6-hour charge, I'm finding, 6 to 7 hours charge, generally speaking. And again, people are going to be saying, oh god, that's too long, isn't it? Well, actually, it's not bad, because I haven't needed to use a whole battery's worth of juice unless I've purposely tried to run it out, like I did that time when I took my lad out. So range wise, it's been quite a good feeling actually, because you get home, it's 20%, you get up in the morning, and there it is. It's ready to do a full day's work again. I do remember that allegedly this does do 100 miles to every pound, so you would definitely save money over time. It's difficult to say how much, isn't it, and how much time it would take. It just depends on a million different factors. But for me, I would say that I could definitely save at least a couple grand a year on using the van, because obviously I get my bill through the accountant every year, and he says how much diesel I've used. So if I was using the van all the time, I'd definitely save a lot of money using this one, at least £1,000 I would say in fuel. So yeah, overall great product. It's the first electric scooter which I've tried, which I've looked at and actually thought, what, this is a real proposition for the market that would work for many people. All the other scooters I've tried have been too slow, 45 mile an hour top speed, which isn't something and nothing, isn't it? All had just not been viable, whereas this is actually a really viable product. I think the only thing that's holding it back really is getting bums on seats so people understand about the bike, and the old classic, which is dealership network. They are definitely working really hard from what I gather to get these bikes out, and it's just a matter of I guess it's like any business, it's staffing and budget at the end of the day, rolling them out. But they are they're going in the right direction. Who knows how it's going to end up. I hope it ends up alright, because as I say, it's definitely a really good product. Would I have one? Yes, of course I would. I mean that goes without saying. I've just said all that, so obviously I would. But again, I would need a local dealer, and yeah, I mean it's just the price, isn't it, at the end of the day? So what can you get for even the next model down, £6,000? Still goes a long way, doesn't it? So, but a lot of people who always wanted that electric scooter, or just want to do stuff around town without anything too sporty, just something practical, then this is it. This is really a good option. So I think I've pretty much covered it. No doubt I'll turn the camera off and I would have forgotten loads of stuff. Thanks for listening though. Eco-friendly, yes, it's eco-friendly in the respect that now it's made, it's not going to chuck any crap out the back, is it? Yes, you've got to plug it into the wall, which goes back to the nuclear power station. But in time there'll be more wind farms and wave machines like in Wales. There's lots of different ways of making electric, and I think sometimes it can get overshadowed, electric bikes, with the whole, well, it's not eco-friendly. I do agree. I totally agree with the way that lithium is mined, but over time hopefully that would become a little bit easier. That's what I would hope. And maybe they'll get sort of ahead of game, but it's got to gain traction to be able to work. Range wise is always going to be an issue. I can live with a 65 mile range on a bike, and a lot of people can't. I'd need to have a second bike, a fossil burner bike, as well as this one. This one will definitely get used more. I'd use this all the time, and there you go. I've just been in there, popped in there and bought a new outfit. Yeah, it works for me. How do you get this to work? There you go. Beep. It's nice having the reverse, and as I say, you just glide around on this thing rather than any vibrations. It almost feels like you're being teleported. It's nice getting on this. It's nice getting on the petrol engine bike. So I can live with either. It's not a problem to me. And that's really all I have to say on it. So yes, I could live with one of these, no problem. It's been nice having it, actually, to do all those trips. It's been a real sort of treat, really. And yeah, I really hope that they keep doing what they're doing, really. They're working hard to get these bikes out, obviously even pushing one out to me, which I really appreciate that. So many thanks, Silence UK. I hope that this really works for you. I know you're selling quite a few where the dealers are at the moment, but I hope that continues as well. and as long as the dealers are good, then you're going to be alright. Thanks to you guys for listening to that. Hopefully it's been useful to some of you, and thank you to the regulars who always tune in to my stuff no matter what. It's just something I wanted to cap off this bike before it goes back. So, leave you in peace. If you've got any questions, write down below. I will be showing you, I would have done a full review on this as well by now. So I'll put that card up in the corner here to watch that. But don't forget, I do have lots and lots of videos on my channel for you to feast your eyes on. And I guess I'll see you on Sunday at 4 PM. Thanks to Silence, and thanks to you. Goodbye.